Good morning, everyone. It's 10 a.m. I'd like to welcome everyone to the commission meeting of July the 6th, 2020 of the Limestone County Commission meeting, and I call it to order. Pam, do we have any public comment?
No, sir.
No public comment. Pam, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Samet?
Here.
Commissioner Turner?
Here.
Commissioner Black?
Here.
Commissioner Harrison?
Here.
Commissioner Harrison, you'll listen to please.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. All right. First on the agenda, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from June the 15th of 2020. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Samet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Samet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
All right, second on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $2,803,233.06. Do I have such a motion?
So
I'll make a
moved.
motion, Mr. Chairman. Motion by Commissioner Samet. Have a
Second.
second. Second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Samet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Do we have any conflicts of interest with anything coming in front of the commission today? With all y'all silence, I'll take that as a no. Next thing on the agenda, on the resolutions in order, I'll ask for a motion to approve a resolution authorizing Community Consultant Incorporated to provide grant application, preparation, and advisement services on a federal grant project. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Harrison. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion?
Do we want this?
He's going to propose. Well, you.
When's he going to speak? Do you
He's
want
going to
to
speak
At the end.
at
At the end.
public
Okay.
Public hearing.
All right. Good deal.
hearing. Yeah. Any more discussion? No more discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Samet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Under contracts, agreements, and grants, I'll ask for a motion to approve Charter Communications right to enter agreement at the location of the Sorrell Dental Building. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Harrison. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Samet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Second on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve the following Senior Community Service Employment Program host agreement agency with TARCOG, the Alabama Department of Senior Services, and the Senior Services of America Corporated. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Samet. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Samet?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Third on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve detailed information cooperative agreement with the Alabama Department of Transportation for a FHYA grant in the amount of $12,500 to be applied toward the completion of a 2020 photography and mapping project, ALDOT, and it's $10,000 their part in the county of $2,500. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Samet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Samet?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Fourth on here, I'll ask to approve a MOU with the City of Athens concerning municipal elections. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Samet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Fifth on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve the MOA with the City of Madison for the resurfacing of Hardeman Road and Bird Green Road. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion
Second.
by Commissioner Turner, second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Samet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Sixth on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve agreement with Morrell Engineering Incorporated to provide construction, engineering, and inspection services on Shaw Road resurfacing project. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We have no budget revisions, no emergency purchases. Under board appointments, I'll ask for a motion to approve Valerie Hendricks to the Health Cares Authority of Athens Limestone County effective July the 6th of 2020 through December the 31st of 2020. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Harrison. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Second on here, I'll ask for a motion to reappoint Camelia Gadsden and Valerie Hendricks to the Healthcare Authorities of Limestone County effective January the 1st of 2021. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Under award of bids, I'll ask for a motion to approve the gas and diesel for the July the 6th through October the 5th of 2020 with W.H. Thomas with a 30% over margin. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Sackett. Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Under personnel action, I'll ask for a motion to approve to hire Clayton Pugh as a corrections officer pending a drug screening. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Second on here, I'll ask for a motion to hire Jesse Gibson as a deputy pending a drug screening. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve to hire Rodney Talbot Elkins as a litter patrol driver in District 4 pending a drug screening. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Harrison. To have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Fifth on here, I'll ask for a motion to hire Alicia Luter as a recording clerk 2 in the probate office. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
All right. Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I'll ask for a motion to promote Ethan Wilson to Equipment Operator 2 in District 2. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next on here, I'll ask for a motion to hire Buford Clemens as a part-time litter patrol driver in District 2. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next thing on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve to add a transitional administrator to the staffing plan for the County Commission Office through December the 31st of 2020. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? I didn't think we were going to get a second on that one there, Pam. No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Family medical leave for Jason Pendergrass beginning July the 6th of 2020 until August the 17th of 2020. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Have a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. Next on the agenda under merit increases, I'm not going to list them below, but I'm not going to call them out, but the list is on the worksheet here. Does any, to have a motion to approve all of the merit increases?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Turner, second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion with anybody? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. At this point, I'll turn it over to Engineer Mr. Massey.
Yes, sir, thank you. First item for your action would be to amend Midpoint Business Park subdivision. It's a major subdivision that we granted preliminary approval on May 18th for 3 lots in District 2. They would like to add 14 additional lots and the subsequent roads. And so just an administrative thing to combine that into one subdivision since it will be constructed all at the same time. And then the other item would be to approve the following subdivisions: Messer Place, York Acres. It's Messer Place minor, preliminary, and final in District 2, 2 lots in District 4, Lydia Corey Road. York Acres subdivision, minor, preliminary, and final, 2 lots in District 3, corner of Evans and York Lane. And Gatlin Acres, minor, preliminary, and final, 2 lots in District 3, at the northwest corner of Cedar Acres and Long Meadow Road. And that's all I have for your consideration today.
Okay. Well, first of all, I ask for a motion to approve the Midpoint Business Park subdivision that's presented by Mr. Massey. Do I have such a motion
I'll
on it?
make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Sammet. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion with it? No discussion with it. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. Then second on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve the 3 subdivisions as submitted by Mr. Massey. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the second.
Motion by Commissioner Harrison, second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion with it? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison? Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Under other business, I'll ask for a motion to approve the master gardeners to use the farmers market to hold their monthly meeting through December the 20th, 2020. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion with it? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. Next on the agenda, I'll ask for a motion to remove the following items as listed here below from inventory, which will be from engineering, a reappraisal, and the sheriff's office. Do I have such a motion on this?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Turner, second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. Third on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve to transfer the following piece of equipment from appraisal to the council agent, which is a 2011 Dodge Nitro car. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. Under scheduled public hearing, I'll open up the floor to approve to open the following public hearing discussing a 2020 grant. Mr. Acuff is going to come up to the mic here and tell us all about it.
The county is considering applying for a CDBG grant, and before you do that, you're required, in accordance with your adopted citizen participation plan, is to have a public hearing to notify the public that you are considering applying for a grant. And what CDBG is it's community development block grant money that comes through HUD that's given to ADECA. And you've applied for several of these in the past. The grant money has to be used for low and moderate income areas. One of the roads that we're considering looking at is Chapman Hollow Road, looking at reworking it and replacing the piping and reworking that road. But in order to do that, we have to, what we're considering applying for is what they call a single-purpose grant. They break these funds. They get $23 million a year, and they break it down into different funds. But for county fund, which you're considering applying for, they have roughly $3 million, $2.9 million that they'll distribute. These grants are due on August 10th. It was originally July 10th, but they moved it 30 days because of the COVID virus. So that is the area that we're considering. We're planning to start surveying, if nobody in the public has objections, Chapman Hollow Road to make sure it qualifies. If it qualifies, we'll be coming back to the commission with a resolution at your meeting before the August 10th deadline for you to approve and authorize submittal. The local match requirement for these type projects is 10%. So we'll be asking for a $350,000 grant with a 10% local match, and it's my understanding the county's going to do that as an in-kind if we apply. So with that, I'll answer any questions anybody may have from the public.
Is the 2.9 million statewide?
Statewide, yes, sir.
Statewide, okay.
Due to the virus, they usually get somewhere around 15 to 16 county applications. I'm estimating they'll maybe get a few less because just not a lot of people out engaged in doing surveys right now due to the pandemic.
Yep.
So
How long does it take to find out if you got it or not?
we'll hear in October. Since they moved it back, they had projected September, so I'm assuming they'll move it to October.
And that will be for the next, well, we have 12 months to complete the work. Is that what you?
Yes, sir. You would get it in October of 20. You have to be closed out for you to be eligible again. You have to be closed out by March of 2022. So we would do it in the spring.
March 2022.
Yeah,
I
you
was
had to be
thinking March of
closed out.
2021.
Now you'd be doing construction this time next spring, next summer.
All righty.
All righty?
Anybody think else, Mr. Draco?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right. All right, so that ends our public hearing on our, any more discussion with that? Any more, anybody here say anything with it? All right, no more with that. We'll move on to the report of officers. Commissioner Samet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd just like to comment on the work that Mark and his crew's doing, and also I'd like to thank, I don't want us to forget our representatives who have given us a lot of the money that we're working with. Governor Ivey's staff, along with our representatives that fought so hard to get our 7-cent tax, which right now is 4 cents, but anyway.
We're 6 right now.
Oh, it's 6 right now? Okay. Anyway, that's the money we're working with. We're seeing great improvements across the county already, and I know we're already a month behind, about a month, something like that. They'll finish up with Bethel Road this week. That's my Rebuild Alabama money being spent. I know Steve's spent a lot on like Copeland Road and all the roads, Sanderson. I don't know what all you had on it, Steve, but anyway, I want to thank you again for Copeland Road.
No problem.
I guarantee you, it really looks good. Reed's doing a great job, I think, on them, and in a timely manner too, as far as getting behind them just as quick as we get our roads ready. But anyway, I just wanted to comment on where the money's coming from, you know, that's making this big difference. Also, I'd like to mention, don't forget the census. I mean, that census means so much to us here in the county. I don't know where we're at right now. I think last
We're at
57.7. So there's 63, still 43% out there somewhere that's not responded. We really need that count because it means so much to our county. But anyway, just I know the COVID thing's been knocking everything in the head, even our Rebuild Alabama money. But anyway, just don't forget about the census and work on, if you know of somebody that has not sent their paperwork in on the census, ask them to do so. I mean, we'd really need that count. But I guess that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Get
Thank
off
you,
my
Commissioners.
soapbox.
Oh, you're doing good. That's good. Thank you, Commissioner Samet. Commissioner Turner.
Yeah, I gave my comments in the work session, but I'd like to update on the tar truck.
I spoke with Tractor and Equipment this morning. They said they were waiting on one more part to come in, and but when that part gets in, then they can finish it, and it should be, they said, for end of this week, first of next week, estimated back to us.
Well, that's real good. Now we have two.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Commissioner Black?
Yeah, we did we reclaimed Snake Road about 2 weeks ago. I can go on record right now saying that's probably the last road I ever reclaimed. Not because it's not a bad idea or a good idea, but it is an idea that if it rains in half an inch, you're going to be in trouble. If it rains a foot, you really are in trouble, and we're at the foot stage. Spreading gravel just so people didn't get stuck going back and forth to their homes for 4th of July. It's been a headache. Warren Road is the exact same way. It's the only way that you could fix it, and sadly, we're trying to fix it right now, and we're playing catch up really, really bad. Tractor, bush hogging, cutting the sides of the roads. I don't know about the other guys. We're so far behind on everything else and trying to play catch up. Once we start cutting, we've got tractors that we cleaned, had set up, did the maintenance on them over the winter, and both of them wouldn't run. So I don't know. We got a DEF problem on one of them, and then the other one's a PTO problem, and both of them miraculously said that it was because we cleaned them too good with the pressure washer. And so when we cleaned them and put them up, somehow we got water into the lines or something else, and so I was happy we at least washed them, so I thought that was pretty good. Also on the census, with Michelle and everybody here, while we have this stage, why don't we get with the elementary schools? Why don't we get with the elementary teachers, the elementary principals, and you at least have that connection right there, because if you go and tell the elementary kids, hey, Friday night we're having a football game and everybody gets a popsicle, well, they're going to go home and drive their parents absolutely crazy. Why don't we get something with our elementary students and try to get them that when they go home on Friday afternoon or whatever, they present this to their parents? That I don't know. The schools need to be really, really involved with this as well, because it is benefiting them tremendously too.
They have been pushing stuff out, and of course, with the schools being stopped already,
Yeah.
they're still pushing stuff out on social media. But if we can find a way to get something to the kids at home, I mean, that.
9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders are not going to take anything home. They don't even want to communicate when they get there about anything. But an elementary kid wants to tell you everything they've done that day. And if we go to them and we target them, I think it will be very beneficial for everybody. So, new superintendent in, that'd be something good for him to kick off. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Black. Mr. Harrison?
Okay. As Mark indicated, Reed may have to pull off and go finish a project and then come back hopefully next week, into next week, something like that.
They're going to make the transition as short as they can.
Okay. And so people that travel New Cut Road, it's swept, it looks good, it's a chip seal surface, but it's fine to travel on. So you'll have to travel on it for a couple of weeks, but just be patient. I will say to Jason that that happened to me last year on Robinson Lane and Cannon Road. So, but people got to understand, we've had wet. I mean, these last 2 years have wreaked havoc on our road. And if you're in a process of reclaiming a road, I mean, and you get caught with rain, that's going to happen. And yes, it's aggravating to people, but and when we catch it, but it's what needs to be done to the roads. And a full depth reclamation. When we met with AlDOT technical people, that was their first question when we sat down: are you doing full depth reclamation? And we said we are. We had started at that point doing that. And it's tough, and people expect you to have it done overnight, and that is an impossibility. And what we just ask the public to do, if you want better roads, you're going to be inconvenienced. I mean, there's just no way around it. And if you get caught in one of these rains, it makes it even that much more. Oh yeah, it's but
about 4 days apart, each one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it hurts. I've been through that. But, I mean, that's what we have to do to get these roads in shape. And I just ask the public to bear with us in that. Thank you for your presentation and work on Chapman
Holler Road. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that grant, and we'll know, like you said, sometime maybe in October. And I'll just tell the people on Chapman Hollow on that road and in that area that you'll be going around and doing interviews and surveys before that. So thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Harrison. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Acuff for coming today and working with us on the DECA block grant. Maybe we can have good success with this program. I hope we do, and I think he can. And like the census, everybody, we can't be repetitive enough. I know Pam sometimes says I get real repetitive, but now the census that's something that, if you love Alabama, that's something that you really, really need to do. I mean, the money follows it's going to follow the numbers, not the needs. And here in Limestone County, we're growing like wildfire, and, we're up somewhere around 100,000 people, and if we get a census count of 95,000 people in next 10 years, and then we're 130, 40,000, we're going to draw money on 95,000 people for the next 10 years. And that's what, it's safe, it's easy, it takes less than just a few minutes. You can do it online, you can mail it in. I think there's several ways you can do it on the phone. I mean, and if you need any information, any help with it, just contact our office. Michelle's done an awesome job of, we get on the radio every week, and that's one of the things we talk about, the census and the COVID virus. And the COVID virus is still out there, too. So I encourage everyone, good personal hygiene, safe distancing, with this here to stay, it looks like, too. While you're at home, take advantage of this and do your census. I mean, that'd be a good thing to do while you're looking for something to do. Okay, and with all that being said, and thank everyone for coming, and we'll adjourn until 9 a.m. on Monday, July the 20th of 2020 at the Clinton Street Courthouse Annex, 100 South Clinton Street, Athens, Alabama. Thank y'all for being here today.